Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have another Marvel Legends review for you. What you're looking at is the first wave of figures that include Avengers Endgame figures in them, which is super exciting. So this is wave 1 here of the Endgame figures in the Build-A-Figure Thanos line. That's right, we have another Thanos Build-A-Figure, but this Thanos is the one featured in Avengers Endgame with the full armor and everything. So we're going to jump right into it. First things first, I want to say no spoilers from me from the movie. The only things I will comment on are things that you see in the toys right here that are apparent. I have seen the movie. It's fantastic. I want to see it again. But please don't post any spoilers, at least for the initial week or so. Give some time for people to go watch the movie. So let's start with, going through each of the figures in the wave. So right up front here, we have Captain America. And what's interesting is because these figures were starting to release or get leaked out early, they weren't putting the name of the movie yet in case it leaked out. So it just says Avengers, but these are the Avengers Endgame ones. And you have Captain America here and what they're officially calling the team suit. So obviously we've seen all the characters, well, I shouldn't say all the characters, but basically many of them in the trailer and the commercials featuring the team suit, and they all look pretty cool. So I'm glad that we got Captain America. I hope we get more. I know that we did get some other figures, and that will be coming up in a future review. But here's that. You have your Avengers logo right there. Build-A-Figure Thanos, as I said, and there's a promo image of Captain America in the team suit. There you go, right there. And the back of the box, so you can pause the video and read the bio if you would like. Really, really cool artwork. But this is what I want to focus on, is you need all... technically you need 6 figures in this wave to get Thanos. You don't need Captain America. He does not come with a Build-A-Figure piece because people are going to buy Captain America anyway. So they incentivized all the other figures. There's 6 pieces that make Thanos, which is all the rest of these guys. So that's Captain America. So with that being said, let's grab Ronan right here, who's the other one from Avengers Endgame. Very interesting character. So there you have it. I'm not going to say much about him, but you can see all sorts of accessories and things right there. And he comes with the arm of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. So very, very interesting. So there you have it right there. And okay, and then the back of the box. Oh, so okay, so the toys say it, so I can say it. Clint Barton. Everybody already knows this, but I'm still being very wary of spoilers. So it tells you it's Clint Barton. So Hawkeye is now Ronan. So there you go. You'll have to watch the movie to find out why. But so we got the new look right here. I don't think I have a Hawkeye Marvel Legends figure. I think I got Marvel Legends. I got into it a little bit late, so I don't think I got a Hawkeye figure. I can't remember. So that's my first one with of Clint Barton here. So there you have it. Then you actually have an Avengers Infinity War figure, and I am so happy about this. We have Ebony Maw right here, or Squidward, as Tony Stark called him, and I absolutely loved that in Infinity War. Yeah, so they're releasing a couple of other Infinity War figures, and that makes me so happy because we got some of the Black Order members. We got Proxima Midnight. Right, we got Cull Obsidian was a Build-A-Figure, and gosh, now I'm blanking on who the other one was, which I think is supposed to release in the future. I don't think we have them yet. I'm trying to remember, but I believe, from my understanding, they're going to end up releasing all of them, which is fantastic. So I'm very, very happy to get Ebony Maw, and a really, really cool design. Look at that. I'm excited about this figure. Look at that artwork. Really, really nice. Really cool stuff. That is so cool. So you have Ebony Maw, one of the Black Order, one of the children of Thanos. So there you have it. There's Squidward. So then the other 4, I honestly don't really care about. I don't know who most of these are. They're from the comics. I don't read the comics, so I don't really know them. But I needed the Build-A-Figure pieces. So that's how they get you. So let's start right up here. Oh, this guy's falling over. So we have Hercules. I don't know how closely related or not he is to just, like Hercules that everybody knows and loves. But very interesting looking figure. All sorts of accessories and stuff. And he has the head of Thanos. So very important Build-A-Figure piece, at least. There you have it. Immortal Champion of Olympus. So yeah, they're pretty much just supposed to be like Hercules, like the Hercules. So that's very interesting. So, oh, there he is. There's Hercules. Hercules. So then we have Nighthawk. I believe I've heard of this character, but I don't know anything about him. Almost kind of Wolverine-esque with the claws there, so that's kind of interesting. And he actually has the blade of Thanos right there, so that's kind of cool. So there's Nighthawk. Originally a member of Squadron Sinister. I have no idea who that is. The wealthy Kyle Richmond has a change of heart and joins the Defenders. Ah, so he's one of the Defenders. Interesting. Oh, you know, that chess piece kind of reminds me of Iron Fist a bit. Is it related or not? I don't know. Then we have... is that Citizen V? Citizen 5? Is that supposed to be Roman numeral or not? I don't know. Very patriotic. So I guess he would look well alongside Captain America. So that's very interesting. The back of the box here. I was about to say he does look kind of villainous, and when I turn it around, that totally explains why. Baron Helmet Zemo. So Baron Zemo adopts the alias Citizen V, Citizen 5, and leads the heroic Thunderbolts into battle against various villains. Oh, against villains. But Baron Zemo, isn't he a villain? Does he turn good in the comics? I don't understand. But, okay, so Baron Zemo, Captain America, so it all kind of fits. So it all makes sense just from the looks of it. So that's kind of interesting. All right, and then last but not least, we have this very interesting looking figure here, Living Laser. I love that the plastic that they use, the translucent and the paint. That's really cool. I'm excited to open this up. And you have the main body of Thanos as well. So very interesting looking figure. The face kind of reminds me of Magneto a little bit. So is it a mutant? I don't know. Driven mad by jealousy, the brilliant research scientist Arthur Parks becomes the villainous Living Laser. Doesn't really say that it's a mutant or not, so I'm not sure. But very interesting design nonetheless. So we have all 7 of these Marvel Legends. So I know this is a long intro to the video, but I really wanted to go and cover all the details here. So now let's get these open and take a look. All right, here they are, all of the first wave of Endgame figures and other assorted comic book characters, all out of the packaging, and very, very interesting figures. I think some are pretty cool, some not so much, but you know, that's how it usually is with these waves. You gotta get them all to get the Build-A-Figure pieces, which we will talk about at the end of the video, so if you want to see the full Thanos, stay tuned for that. So let's just jump into these figures. Let's get the other figures, the 4 back ones, out of the way, and then we're gonna get to the main stuff right here, which is, you know, the main ones I wanted to see. So, starting in the back here, let's start with Living Laser. This figure is very interesting looking. I think the design, especially just the way the plastic and stuff is done and the paint, is very interesting. The effects pieces are okay. I don't know, it just seems a little awkward and weird, but they can sort of just wrap around the arm, so you do have that flexibility. But just the paint style, so it's this translucent pink, and then right up here they start to almost like brush in this white paint right here. So it's a very interesting look that it creates, and I like that unique style that it has. Very interesting. And then of course you have this whole like helmet piece, this weird face that it sort of has. Interesting style, and on the back here as well. So there's the figure. So these effects pieces are kind of annoying. They get in the way a little bit, but you know, they're there. So in terms of articulation, so the head is not going to move too much, but it will turn a little bit. But because of this giant piece, it's not really going to be able to do much. So the arms do rotate around. There is actually in and out movement right here as well. The arms will rotate around this way. There's a double joint at the elbow, and then the hands will also rotate as well. And of course, the effects pieces can come on and off. I'm just going to, you know, leave it on so I don't lose these things, but, you know, they're there. And then the body has a good amount of movement there. It does rotate all the way around. The legs move apart and then, you know, move forward. So I think the rest of this is pretty standard articulation here, but we'll just real quick show double joint. Here you actually have the whole sort of boot, if you will, rotates, and then of course up and down movement. It's a little stiff, but you know, movement, twisting, all that stuff right there. So there it is. I will say the translucent pink, while it looks cool, it does also, because it's so exposed, like it does look a little weird when you're turning things, because like if I turn it here, you got like, you know, pieces sticking out sort of. Like if I turn the foot, you know what I mean? Like you can see like it does look a little weird. Kind of breaks the illusion a little bit, whereas some other characters that are wearing clothes, it kind of makes it blend in a little. So here, it looks a little bit more odd, I would say. Especially like if I wanted him to turn, like that just looks weird, you know? But oh well, overall, I think, you know, not knowing anything about the character, I think it's kind of interesting just the design overall and how they translated it to a figure. So certainly, you know, it's all right. It's an all right figure. So there it is, living laser right there. So then we have, I'm going to call it Citizen V. I don't know if it's Citizen 5, Citizen V. I'm going to go with V because that should, I guess, would be the first choice that I would guess. Very interesting. So he does have this sword, which my first gripe is the sword doesn't really hold pretty tight. There was a little bit of like some stuff wrapped around that held the sword in place for the package. Once you pulled it right out, like it just kind of flops around a little. So if you're not even going to have him hold the weapon properly, like that right there is kind of lame. So I'm a little disappointed by that. Overall design is very interesting. Kind of a plain body, but there's the face mask thing right there. And this is an interesting style design. Obviously, you know, US inspired there on this whole cape sort of waving off to the side. The capes are okay, you know, with these figures. You know, there's only so much that you can really do with these, but sometimes I find that they just get in the way a little bit, you know, but it's the best that I feel like, you know, can be done. So it does plop right out, so if you did want to take it out, you know, you certainly could do that. But if he's supposed to have the cape, let's leave him on for the purposes of, you know, talking about articulation and everything. So there you have it. So articulation-wise then, pretty standard. It's just going to be what's going to be hindered by the cape, right? So the arm movement, again, just depends on what... And you do have a little bit of range of motion, so you can kind of push things away a little bit, you know? The arms do move up a decent bit. Rotation there, double joint, and then this piece does not rotate, but the hand, of course, does. So there's that. The upper body, you know, moves. It all twists around. Pretty standard twist, double joint. The whole boot does rotate, and then the same, you know, standard movement and twisting that you see there. So pretty basic figure. You know, it's okay. It's a little disappointing because the cape kind of is annoying, and especially the sword just is a little lame with it flopping around like that, you know? So there's that. Let's actually move these out of the way. Let's get to Nighthawk here, who is a very interesting looking design. I don't know if it's supposed to be anything related to Iron Fist or not, because it's very similar style from the design there, but I'm sure for anyone that is familiar with the comic can post in the comments below. The Wolverine style claws. Very interesting design. You know, very classic kind of comic book style helmet. And his whole cape is a really interesting style too, because it's very like a specific shape. Like it's around and pops up and around, you know, like it's not just a floppy cape. Like this looks like it's very specifically meant to be this shape and design. So that's kind of interesting, and it's a, you know, interesting material, nice and tough material. So this does kind of peg out as well. If you needed movement, you could probably take this off too, but you know, it's meant to sort of be attached in there, so let's do that. Let's keep it attached. If it will go back in, maybe, possibly. Is it not wanting to like stay in? Alright, whatever, we're just gonna deal with it. So then in terms of articulation, again, it's gonna be very, very standard and similar to what you've seen with the other figures. Yeah, no, this is just not wanting to go back in. It's kind of annoying now. So that's why I don't like these capes, because it gets in your way, you know, like it just bugs me. You know, you have movement there, double joint there, then the hand rotates and goes in and out a little bit as well. Movement there, this thing moves around apparently. Movement, twisting, double joint, the whole boot rotates, and then standard feet articulation. So it frustrates me. I would actually kind of prefer if I could probably take this off, and then I feel like I would like this a little bit better, to be honest. Like, let's focus on the claws and like that cool stuff there, not this annoying cape. So there you go. That's the Nighthawk figure. On to Hercules. So out of those four, sort of ancillary characters, at least for me, I feel like this one is the best. So very interesting look to the figure right here. So it's got no shirt on, of course, but you see the giant belt buckle, and he's very like heavy duty. You can tell he looks tough, super muscular. This is a Hercules that you do not want to mess with. Yeah, really, really interesting style here. So he does come with a couple different things. So out of the box, he had these 2 closed fists right here. So you can do that. Or I swapped it out with these open fists so that he could hold his accessories. So the sword, and then this other weapon here. So really cool. So the axe and sword are kind of basic looking, but I feel like it fits the style of this character. Seems like more of a old school, traditional, classic style. Excuse me. And so the weapons do fit that as well. But what I also really like is that they also have a space to store the weapons in the back. So this just slides right in, and then so does this. So, and I like when these types of accessories don't just flop around and stuff. Like, it's pretty in there, solid. You can play with the figure. It's not going to fall about. So that's what I like. I like those types of Marvel Legends that are really, cohesive. Like, you can play with them just fine and not be frustrated. You know what I mean? So I think they did a nice job with that. So very interesting. As far as articulation, you have the movement there. The arms move. They go up, rotation here, double joint there, and the hands, of course, have movement. The entire upper body is it looks like it's supposed to have a little bit of movement, but maybe because of this back piece that's so muscular, it doesn't really... Oh, okay, there you go. It kind of moves. It just took a little bit of pushing. So you have that. It can technically twist around as well. And then, good range of motion here. Twisting, double joint, and the whole boot rotates, and then movement in the feet, pretty standard. Okay. So, yeah, good amount of movement and articulation, and very interesting style. So, pretty decent figure for what it is. So if you're a fan of this Hercules style, I think this is a pretty solid figure. All right, so that brings us to the main stuff that I wanted in this wave, at least the MCU related characters. So let's start with Infinity War, right? So we have Ebony Maw right here, Squidward, as I love to call him. Oh, he's out of frame because he's actually really tall. Sometimes you don't get a sense of scale in the movies as much until they're fighting other characters and stuff, and then you're like, oh wow, these guys are kind of big. And he's one of them. And man, this figure just looks awesome. I think they did a really nice job with it. It definitely just captures the essence of the character so well. So, I mean, just looking at him up close, look how just creepy looking he is. That's just so cool. Oh man, look at that. Really, really nice. I love the slick, clean, simple looking suit, but nice little bit of gold on there, added touch. Just the texture of some of this, and the way that this is kind of a softer plastic, so that you can move the legs around. So I appreciate that. But yeah, really, really cool design. And same with this back piece as well. It's a little more flexible. Looks great. Really, really nice looking figure. Yeah. So in terms of articulation for this guy, rotation around. The arms do rotate and also move upwards. You have twisting here, double joint at the elbow, and then this whole hand rotates and moves up and down. So, very cool. And then you do have full range of motion in the upper body as well, twisting also. This part of the body does not rotate. It's all kind of this one piece. It's just this upper body here. The legs do have a decent bit of motion. You can kind of kick forward a little bit because this will bend a little. Twisting, double joint right here. And then this boot does not rotate, but the feet do have your standard, movement here. So good range of motion, right? So, he's here and he's, controlling Doctor Strange or whatever, with his magic or whatever he had from the movie. So certainly can come up with some really cool looking poses with these figures. Very, very neat. So that is Ebony Maw, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Even if you don't care about the Thanos Build-A-Figure, but there's certain figures you want, I do recommend like the Black Order figures, and Ebony Maw being one of them now. So very cool. So then we have, let's go to Ronan right here. So this being the new persona for Hawkeye. You know, there's nothing super crazy about his suit. To me, it's kind of like a very standard sort of ninja type of thing, you know, the dark black and stuff. You have little accents of gold throughout. So you have that there, right? He's got like this little hood. So, you know, it's kind of interesting. But personally, nothing about this, like, you know, is super exciting for me with the design at least. So, very interesting for the character, but design-wise, it's like, eh. And he does come with two swords. This one and this one's a little bit smaller. So you do have that. The cool thing about it, though, is you can actually take either one of these and just slide it right in. It sort of goes in further, so you can just kind of let it, you know, be however you want. But it's nice to have that right there. So you can have him like reaching back, like he's going to grab it and pull it out. And you can even have it in his hand and then just pull his hand and it comes out or something, which is kind of cool. So, oh, and even some gold on the inside of the hand there, which is a nice touch because you wouldn't normally see that. But it does have that there. So, interesting style. This part here is a little rubbery to allow for some movement of the legs. Also, I think this piece actually does come off. So if you wanted to take this off, you can do that. But I don't know why. I mean, you can pretty much leave that on. It's fine. But also this hood comes off too. I do feel like it looks even weirder without it. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, but so I kind of think it should fit there. It doesn't really peg in or anything. So, I mean, it seems like it stays on pretty well. But I'm a little worried about that because it just kind of just sits there. But it seems like it's fine. So I guess that's okay. The other thing is he does actually come with another hand, a left hand here. So I'm going to plug this out and put this hand in. And what you'll see is this is another hand with some, you know, gold on the inside and there. But he's got like the throwing stars, and they sort of just made it one solid piece as if he's throwing these stars. So you can just have him, you know, displaying it like that. It's kind of neat. You know, I do appreciate something different like that versus just another swappable hand that's just a hand. So having this extra little look here, certainly kind of cool. Again, nice added little touch. So there you go. Kind of makes me think about if they do something like that for a Spider-Man figure and have like a web thrown out like that. Maybe they already have something like that. I don't know, but just made me think of that. So in terms of articulation then, so the head does, you know, rotate, you know, all the way around, up and down as much as it can with or without the hood, really. Let's put that back on if I can. Whatever. The arm rotates as well. There's a little bit of movement like that. Moves up and down, twisting here, double joint. The hand does rotate and move in and out as well. In terms of the upper body, I mean, there's a little bit of movement in and out, but it's hard to gauge how much because he's kind of covered in that suit. But it does twist all the way around. And here's what I mean about the hood now. See, now it's starting to kind of flop all over the place. So the legs, you know, move apart, move forward, twist, double joint, and the feet move in and out and twist around as well. So there you have that. So that is Ronan right there. So, you know, whatever. There it is. On to Captain America, and he is in the team suit right here. So, really interesting. I like the suits. I think these suits look really cool. They look really nice in the movie as well. The only thing that's kind of interesting is I thought in the movie, from what I remember at least, the suits are a little bit more white colored versus gray. So I wonder if it's because the gray plastic is how the plastic like is, so it's cheaper to make versus if they had to make it all white, they'd have to like truly paint it all. I mean, I'm guessing that's why. So it kind of makes the toys not look as interesting as they actually look in the movies. Because I do like the white. I think it has a really cool look to it. I mean, this is not bad either. It just doesn't, it looks a little bit more dull versus the white and red contrast, I think is even cooler. So keep that in mind. I don't think they're going to make another version that is white because it's really a paint thing probably. So you're kind of stuck with this, you know, so if that does bug you, keep that in mind. But overall, it's still not too bad. Very interesting style. So there you have, you know, there's the suit design. You do have Captain America's shield right here as well. Very standard shield. The only thing is it was a little hard to get on, so what I had to do is I technically had to detach the hand and then attach the hand to the shield and then plug in the body into the hand. Because sticking his arm through and then trying to make him grab it was a little hard, so if I just had just the hand itself and did it and then attached him to that, that was a little bit easier. So keep that in mind, but very, you know, classic looking shield, as you can see. I don't know how I feel about him still wearing the normal helmet while in the suit, but it's accurate to, you know, to what they've shown in the movie, so at least it's accurate to that. But overall, let's check out the articulation here. So, you know, rotation, there, twisting, double joint as well, movement here. This whole, you know, piece rotates, twists around, movement there, kicks forward, twisting, double joint, and then the legs. So very standard articulation again as well, and looks pretty solid. So there it is. Overall, though, I do think it is worth it, and it's pretty cool. So lots of little attention to detail too. I do like just the different texture style. You got your Avengers A logo. You got this very interesting thing on his hand there. I wonder what that is. But yeah, overall, pretty solid looking figure. Interesting design. So with that being said, it's time for the Build-A-Figure, right? So that is the last remaining piece here. So let's grab all of the Thanos pieces that we have here. So I've already gone through what comes with what, so I'm not going to review all that again. But let's build Thanos here and put it all together. So we have the legs. All right. So I'm excited to have like this battle armor Thanos, you know, like that's pretty cool because we haven't really had that yet. All right. Oh, this just popped out. The Infinity Gauntlet, no. Okay. Okay, clicked into place there. And oops. All right, let's try and grab this. All right. We have Thanos in his full armor right here. Looks pretty awesome. Let's actually just give him his weapon and then we'll talk about it all at once. So here's the blades here. Slide that in. There we go. Here you have the mighty Thanos. Look at that. Really cool. Definitely I like the look of this whole armored Thanos overall. Really, really nice. It's a nice change from the other existing Thanos that I have as well. So I'll go grab that in a second. But yeah, really, really cool. I like the style. You know, the paint is a little shiny. Like it's not it's not like a dull gold. So I think it certainly looks nice. The Infinity Gauntlet is a different style color, so you know it does do that. So he looks like he has all the Infinity Gems there. It's a closed fist Infinity Gauntlet, and it's fallen right out. But yeah, overall looks really cool. Weapon is interesting, kind of a basic looking style, but you know, not much paint and stuff to it. But you know, it is what it is. So in terms of articulation of this giant figure here, so the head does rotate, move up and down. The arm will rotate and move up a little bit. You have a little bit of elbow articulation there. This whole piece does turn as well. And then the gauntlet will turn and also move in and out a little bit. You do have movement there. The body does not twist though. The legs can move to the side, so this does bend, and kicks forward a little bit. You have a double joint right there at the knee, and then the feet rotate around and do all that. So, yeah, there's your Thanos. Really interesting, you know, style. So let me grab the other Thanos and do a quick little comparison as well. Alright, so here you go. There was actually a separate Build-A-Figure Thanos that was released, but this is the version from the Marvel First 10 Years Infinity War set that came with the Iron Man and Doctor Strange figure. The reason I brought this one is because the purple that they used is more accurate and also matches this one. So if you got the Build-A-Figure Thanos before, it's like a darker purple, and it doesn't really match. So this is the one that's more properly painted, that's from the Infinity War Marvel First 10 Year set. The gauntlet, everything kind of matches a bit more. So, yeah. Very interesting. If you had asked me which one I prefer, as cool as the armor looks, I still do feel like I kind of prefer this. Like, for whatever reason, he does look more menacing this way, even though he's all this armor. Like, there's just something about this, the kind of more clean look, maybe the big, like the muscular arms, something about it just kind of looks more tough and menacing. But I do still like this armor look, and I'm very glad that now, you know, there's both versions that you can sort of collect and get, which is pretty great. So yeah, there's that. And then if you wanted a comparison size-wise, you know, here's Captain America. So oh man, he knocked over both Thanos figures, so there you go. Oh, and the blade is cutting his head right there. But essentially, you know, point that I'm trying to make is the Thanos figures certainly do, you know, look much larger and taller, which is more accurate. So that's pretty great, the scale and size of these figures. So anyways, that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed these Marvel Legends Endgame figures. If you are interested, go to your local stores and you can find them now, collect them all to build Thanos or pick your favorites that you saw in this review as well. Let me know in the comment section below, are you going to collect Thanos or get any of these Endgame Marvel Legends figures? Let me know. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you later.